of Mysore, which merged with State Bank of India. Right. Then the Century Club, I think many of you are in Bangalore who are aware of that Century Club. The Mysore Chamber of Commerce, now it's called Federation of Karnataka Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Then Mysore Affect Chamber of Commerce, it's called Affects Chamber of Karnataka today. Numerous other industrial places. The Bangalore Press was also established by him. Okay. So he was instrumental in founding Government College of Engineering. Now you call it as UVCA, Visheshwara College of Engineering. Okay. So in 1917, it's one of the oldest colleges in the country. Okay. He was also commissioned several railway lines in Mysore Railways. So now you call it as Southern Indian Railways. I think if you look at southern part of Karnataka, almost all major railway lines were designed by him. Okay, so many of them we couldn't implement even after 100 years. Okay, right. So he lived full 100 years. He also encouraged private investment in industry during his tenure as Diwan. Okay, so we all talk about private investment today. 100 years back, he took it up. Okay, so he was the one who really encouraged private people to start industry. Okay. He was also instrumental in charting out plan for road construction between Tirumala and Tirupati, whatever the road you are using now. So probably you should remember whenever you go to Tirupati, he is the one who started that. Okay, the idea was started by him. Okay, as we all know, due to his outstanding contributions to society, Government of India conferred Bharat Ratna, the highest award, to him in the year 1955. Okay, some of his quotes are. The one which I always remember is industrialize or perish. So that's the first thing he said to a country when it got independence. Okay. So you cannot depend only on agriculture unless until you industrialize, you cannot grow the country. Okay. The other one he said was, if you buy what you do not need, you will need what you cannot buy. Okay. So that's one. Other one is he always used to tell, you draw a straight line for your career and walk on that. Okay. So that means former group director, mechanical systems, UR Satellite Center. So he played a key role in the successful realization mechanism of Chandrayaan 1, 2 and GSAT 17, GSAT 18 missions. So we are indeed fortunate to have such an accomplished scholar in our. So I'm sure that we will enrich a lot through your message. I have great pleasure in welcoming you, sir. Okay. We also have with us Dr. Uday Kumar Reddy, Dean School of Engineering, under whose leadership the School of Engineering has improved in leaps and bounds. On behalf of the Department of Aerospace Engineering, I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. We have with us our guest of honor, Mr. Girish S. Murthy, Director 3D Prints, Bangalore. So we are fortunate to have you, sir. I have great pleasure in welcoming you. We also have Devadatta Mishra, Director and COO, Affects Aerospace. I have great pleasure in welcoming you, sir. We also have with us Sunny Kabarwal, Founder, Space Technology and Aeronautical Rocketry, Surat, India. Okay. With us, we also have delegates from DESO System, Praveen, Bhagwaji, Senior Techno Manager at R&D, Mr. Sri Krishna, Chittur, Ms. Richa Pathak from DESO Systems. Sri Krishna. I extend a warm welcome to all chairpersons, faculty, staff, students, students from other participating institutions, faculty from other participating institutions. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words of welcome.
Now, to symbolize knowledge, wisdom, and removal of darkness, may I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly proceed for the digital lighting of the ceremonial lamp. And I request everyone to please raise. Please stand up.
अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णम् परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेमा गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यम् मुनिध्येयमाकाशरूपं परेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेमा जगत्कारणं कारणज्ञानरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगद्वापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेमा परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेमा परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेमा
Thank you all for joining in lighting the lamp and marking the auspicious beginning of this celebration.
Now, I humbly request Dr. Udayakumar Reddy, Dean, School of Engineering, DSU, to address the gathering.
Yes.
Very good morning to all of you. Good morning. Yes. I think, respected chief guest of today's program, Mr. H.N. Suresh Kumar, who is the former Deputy Director, URSC, ISRO, India. Mr. Girish S. Murthy, Mr. Debadatta Mishra, Mr. Sunny, Mr. Sri Krishna, and the team from Dassault Systems, the chairperson of the Aerospace Engineering, the other departments of School of Engineering, and all the faculty, and most importantly, all the students who have gathered here. And I also see that the students from the other three, apart from DSU, there are three other institutes. I think Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, and then we have BMS College of Engineering, and also Gogte Institute of Technology, if I'm not wrong. I think these are the institutes. So welcome all of you once again to this wonderful program. At the outset, let me also wish a happy Engineers Day, which is something I think you are having a workshop on the day of Engineers Day. And I'm sure that what the Sir M. Vishweshwar has achieved, probably I think he will also be achieving in the next, in the coming years. So wish you all the very best and happy Engineers Day to all of you. Thank you. When I was briefing by Mr. Praveen from Dassault Systems about ready to launch model rocket and CANSAT, I think we are doing a phenomenal, the job, especially in ISRO or NAL or HAL, you name any of the organization today, the space technology that is happening in India is something remarkable. It's something remarkable. I think the entire globe is looking at India now. And I think all of you should be part of this, and the workshop that what has been organized in the next 3 days, and I think that will give you a clear transformation. And I do understand there's a series of workshops that has been conducted from Dassault Systems, and there are experts who have gathered here. Please take the note of each and everything. And everything that what we do, please look at something. Can you start your own startups rather than seeking a job? Okay, that is some transformation. That is what we are looking at. Today you see that, today, again, India has become now, where from nowhere, where the startups were, if you look at 5 years down the line, 5 years ago, we are not talking about much on the startups. But today you have more than 130 unicorn startups. And there's a lot of transformation that has happened, across on the startups. I think you can be part of that. And I think the experts who have gathered here, they'll dwell upon that. And I was amazed to see that, the stalwarts who have gathered here will, I'm sure that they will, transform, on the knowledge what is required. Please take note of that. See that, there is some transformation that happens over there in terms of knowledge. And as Professor Nagaraj was mentioning, the theme, what we are looking at is, today, across the globe, we are talking about sustainability. Not only sustainability, there's an innovation that needs to happen. There's a digital transformation. I think this is what, the Prime Minister of India was emphasizing many a times. I think we should be part of this great nation to see that what best contribution that we can make as part of, and remember this, the student at 4-year degree that what you're undergoing now, you can make a remarkable changes over there. I think these platforms can give a lot of emphasis to build yourself to, in terms of the confidence, in terms of technical knowledge, and what else. I think all that can be built through this. And later, once you're out of this, any of the port of the institution, once you pass out, I think you will be geared enough to see that you can make something, as a differentiator, you can stand out, in the crowd, something unique. So with this small message, I'll not take much time because the experts are here to, take you to a different level altogether on, on the ready to launch model rocket and CANSAT. And we do have, in DSU, we do have a complete clean facility on, all this. Probably in the next 1 or 2 years, we will be able to even launch the small satellites, in this right campus. Right now we have in other campus called Kudlugate campus, where, in fact, all our School of Engineering, we started in Kudlugate campus in 2015-16. And just 2.5 years back, we moved here. And the entire space, we have a space, Center for Space Science and Technology, which is CSST. So a lot of activities are being is happening over there, and probably they will also be part of that to ensure that projects that it can be taken up in a big way. And so I only wish all the very best. Please take care, and once again wish you a happy Engineers Day.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Mr. Praveen Bagoji, Senior Project Manager, Dassault Systems, Bengaluru, and Mr. Sri Krishna Chittur, Industry Process Director, Dassault Systems, India Private Limited, to speak about the Connect Next Industry Readiness Program for the space sector. Welcome you, sir.
Okay. First of all, very warm good morning to everyone, and happy to see the bunch of young engineers in this room on the auspicious day of Engineers Day. So once again, I would like to wish each one of you a happy Engineers Day. And I would also like to, first of all, thank Dayananda Sagar University for hosting this innovative workshop in collaboration with the Dassault System Law Foundation. And I'm also very happy that this particular program is just not with Dayananda Sagar University. Dayananda Sagar University has also opened the doors for other universities like BMS College of Engineering, Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, and KLS Gokre Institute of Technology. So I warmly welcome all the 4 institutes for this particular program. And so I would like to quickly share the context of today's gathering over here. And I'm sure most of you might be having the questions in your mind that what is this workshop about, who are Dassault System Law Foundation, and why we are here. They have made us to sit in this particular room packed for a few minutes. So what is the reason for that? So there is a very interesting information which I would like to share with you, because this entire program, what we have curated for the 3 days, is specifically to encourage, to influence, and make you more innovative in your careers. So what is La Foundation Dassault System?
We are with you all around the world. Yes, people need skills, knowledge, and a helping hand to support their projects.
Like me?
Yes, like you.
Like me?
Yes, you too. That's why at La Fondation Dassault Systèmes, we act to give people the capacity to imagine and create for the benefit of all.
Like you give them superpowers?
Kind of. We enable faster and more collaborative research through digital twins. We strive to make learning more fun, interesting, and easy. Thanks to 3D and virtual universes, we imagine brand new solutions to study and understand how to preserve our civilization's heritage.
Is there anything else we should know?
Yeah.
We enable young people from minorities to develop hands-on STEM skills. We give scientists new means and tools to bring their work to the next level. We foster young people's employability by organizing and gathering them with experts on dedicated events and projects. We support Indian students to work on solar engineering projects that are both adapted for the local population and key to build a sustainable world.
Hey, I love this one!
Me too! That's why we support innovative educational projects and initiatives that rely on the capabilities of virtual worlds. At Dassault Systèmes, our people have skills. And guess what?
We want to share our passion.
That's right. At La Fondation, we want to prepare for the next generation to shape their careers. We want to be a catalyst for collaboration and innovation. We want to empower dreams. We want to create a spark so that everyone can learn and search better. And to brighten our future. Come change the world with us. More information on lafondacion3ds.org.
So as you could witness and experience how La Fondacia Dassault System is empowering the young engineering students to explore the multidisciplinary skills by creating avenues in various fields. So that is what the La Fondacia Dassault System is working closely with the academicians and the industries to create those avenues for you so that you can get the right validations. And the mission of La Fondacia Dassault System, as you can see on the screen, is to leverage the 3D and virtual inverters. Because the Dassault System being a pioneer in 3D and virtual inverters, we are using this as a tool and a technology which can help to transform in the field of education, in the field of research, and in the field of heritage. So these are the three broad areas in which La Fondacia Dassault System works with the academicians and the industries to bring the transformation. And to make this happen, our honorary chairman of Dassault System Foundation, Mr. Bernard Charles, he had a vision of this because philanthropy is one of the area where we always tie it to be a monetary benefits. But La Fondacia Dassault System has shift in that particular thought process where we think about sharing the knowledge as a philanthropy, sharing the competencies as a philanthropy. And that is where our honorary chairman, Bernard Charles, conceptualized this particular foundation to more contribute, to more innovate with the young people for the industries. So that is how our honorary chairman, Bernard Charles, has envisioned about this particular foundation. Let us hear from him through his own words.
The aim of Dassault System Foundation is truly about creating a new vehicle, leveraging the 3D universe, the capacity of this powerful media, which is loved by kids and by new generation of people, to prepare them to be the most efficient workforce for tomorrow. It's really about education, but it's about learning and innovation too. And it's not only at the initial stage of education, it is also related to vocational training, employability improvement. All businesses in the world are looking to employ people with those great new type of capabilities. So the most important thing about the Dassault System Foundation is about people. It's about making them successful in their future work life. And that's our motivation. It's the long-term motivation. As we decide to work together with research and education, we can create a new catalyst that will be beneficial for everyone. So I wish you a great moment joining us in that long, great journey. Again, it's about people, and it's about enjoying their job of contributing to the evolution of the society.
So to make this happen, we at Dassault System have the foundation globally across 3 locations. One is in France, USA, and India. And the India Foundation, which was formulated, is the Young, which was started in the year 2017. And Dassault System Foundation operates on a global charter which caters to transformation in the education, research, and heritage. So all the 3 foundations, we work close tightly with this particular charter. And as you can see in the themes of this particular charter, education, STEM education, transform the way to learn, discover, and generate the enthusiasm for scientific careers. So these are the key topics or the key themes on which the Dassault System Foundation operates. And we have our objectives, which are again globally set for accelerating the education transformation, encouraging scientific research, encourage vocation for science and engineering among the young people, and preserve our heritage using 3D digital technologies. So these are the themes and objectives La Fondacia Dassault System globally operates for the mission. And one thing also I would like to mention, the La Fondacia Dassault System entity is a pure corporate social responsibility, non-for-profit entity. So we here execute, operate, and curate the programs specifically for the educations and industries which is not for profit. And now coming, let us have a look at what La Foundation Dassault System, which is also called as Dassault System Foundations India, does in this particular mission and the journey specifically for the Geo India. So this is a quick snapshot of the glimpse how the Dassault System Foundation started in 2017 and where we are today. So as you can see on the screen, we started with one project and with one institute in the year 2017. And today, with the 7 years of journey, I'm happy to mention we have a presence in 31 states and union territories pan-India. We have 16K academic contacts created with this particular initiative. We have 100 plus live projects, including the educational as well as the research, which are supported through La Foundation Dassault System. And happy to mention, looking at the type of programs what we curate and the impact what it generates within the industry and the academic ecosystem, we were happy to also attract the government agencies like Niti Aayog, Atal Innovation Mission, where they came forward to collaborate with La Foundation Dassault System for scaling these particular programs. So with all this particular journey, what we have achieved in the last 7 years, we were also able to be invited as one of the ambassadors for G20 Summit, which happened in India. And the students and the faculty members who were part of this particular journey were given an opportunity to represent their work. And with all these consecutively in the last 4 years, we have been consistently awarded as the best CSR organization in Pan-India. So this is to give a quick snapshot about how the La Foundation Dassault System journey has been in India, so forth. And coming to the flagship programs, so here at the Dassault System Foundation in India, we run 3 flagship programs which are bucketed in 3 categories. So the first program, as you can see, the name is Aspira. This particular program is specifically for girl students. So here we curate the program specifically for girl students to build the competency, whether it can be a blue-collar job or a white-collar job. And the unique part about this particular program is we have a one-to-one mentor. So when I say one-to-one mentor, it is the female employees of Dassault System family who actually adopt one particular student and mentor them throughout their particular journey before they get into the mainstream of their career. So that is Aspira program specifically for the girl students. And the second is the Connect Next program, where we are gathered here for one of the initiative under the umbrella of Connect Next. So Connect Next program is curated to create a healthy vacuum between the industries and the academics, so that the innovation is fueled continuously with various avenues where the students can actually get the industry validation at the right point. So Connect Next program closely works with the industries and the engineering students by curating a programs like one among them today. What we'll be witnessing is the workshop among the series, which is ready to launch Model Rocket and CANSAT. So we will talk more in detail about the Connect Next program in a couple of minutes. And the last but not the least very important program is Made in 3D, the Seed the Future Entrepreneurship Program. So this particular program is specifically for the school children, because as we always believe that catching the students at the young age for the right things is very important than trying to tame them after they get older. So this particular program is specifically for the school children, where at the standard of 9th and 10th, we provide them with the curated avenues where they can start thinking about what career they want to take it in the future. So we create the avenues for this, and also we create avenues for them to look upon if they want to start or pick up their career as an entrepreneur, what are the competencies they should start building upon, what is the career they should choose upon. So in a nutshell, these 3 flagship programs of La Foundation Dassault System are for specifically girl students, engineering students, and for the school kids. So that is how the La Foundation Dassault System mission to bring the transformation in education, research, and heritage is achieved through these particular programs. And the most important avenue also which La Foundation Dassault System works is the social impact research projects. So the social impact research projects, these are the use cases which have innovative research topics which are sourced from various universities. So we have the 3 cycles in an year where the respective academic universities can apply for these particular social impact research projects where it is being scrutinized as per the standards of La Foundation Dassault system, and we mentor them, we coach them, and we support them with all the technological support to make it happen so that it reaches for the benefit of the society. And I'm very happy to mention that Dayananda Sagar University is also the beneficiary of this particular initiative, where we have a couple of research projects which have been nominated by the respective faculty members, and La Foundation Dassault system is providing all the required mentorship support to make it happen. Along with the research projects, we also encourage the universities to give the proposals where they can transform the way the education is being done to the engineering students. So there are various universities who have come with the innovative proposals, how they can bring an innovative pedagogy for the transformation in the education, and that is where the La Foundation Dassault system has also supported such proposals coming from the institute. So the social impact research projects mentorship from La Foundation Dassault system is one of the key ingredients for achieving the mission of the foundation. And now coming to the Connect Next program, which is one of the flagship program of La Foundation Dassault system. So here we are curating the programs specifically for the engineering students in collaboration with the industries. So here the industries are expected to provide the use cases where the students can apply their theoretical knowledge to address it. So through this particular journey, we are helping the students to understand what are the industry know-hows, to understand what are the futuristic technologies that the industries are going to adopt for their particular business, so that the students are well prepared before they step out of the college. Because now the challenge what the industry is always complaining about is the industry readiness, right? So we spend a lot of time as an industry when you enter to any of the industries to make you unlearn a lot of things so that you get a room for getting that industry readiness. But it is a huge investment which is done by the students, the academics, and as well as the industries. So to reduce that particular thing, we want with the Connect Next program to help you to talk the industry language before you step out of the college. So the Connect Next program is whole about that particular initiative where we are creating the avenues for the students to be industry ready. And let us have a look at the glimpse of how the students have been able to be part of the Connect Next program, use this as a vehicle for their successful careers. And before that, I would also like to give a quick glimpse of the spread and the statistics of the Connect Next program. So the Connect Next program has 2 variants. One is called as the Industry Mentorship Program, and the second one is the Industry Readiness Program. So currently in the Industry Mentorship Program, we have 50+ industry use cases which are part of the library, which are being executed by 23+ universities across pan-India. And till date, we have 250 students who have been part of the Connect Next program. And happy to mention, we have 60 passionate professors who are able to lead this particular program in their respective universities. So that is a quick statistics about how this program has been curated and the numbers we have been able to achieve. And as you can see, in India, we have a presence in almost 7 states and 15 cities, but our wish is to have this entire program pan-India in each and every state. And at the right side, as you can see, through this particular program, the students have been able to create a successful careers in a very well-known corporate industries, as you can see the logos of those particulars at the right side. And the most important, as you can see at the right bottom of my slide, through the Connect Next program, the students got a clarity on what should be their future higher studies road path. They were able to pick the right streams because this particular programs exposes the students for the multidisciplinary competencies. This particular program is just not for mechanical, just not for electrical or civil. We ensure that all the industry use cases which the student work upon, they enable you to inculcate those multidisciplinary skills. And that is where these particular corporates who interviewed these students, they were very much impressed with the type of knowledge they brought to the table, the type of industry readiness competencies they had before they entered to their mainstream. So this is how the impact of the Connect Next program is helping the students as well as the faculty members to get those right competencies validated from the industries. And now let us have a quick look at a video about this particular program. So each and every product what you saw on the screen, each and every solution what the students demonstrated, it is entirely done by the students and the professors. And you could see the complexity of these particular products. These are all the multidisciplinary competencies what the students have applied, and these solutions and products are pre-validated using 3D and virtual universes. Because that is the strength of this particular program, where before you go for the prototyping, all your design, simulation, and analysis will be done in the virtual worlds. And that is where you can see the students got that transformation within having from a virtual world to the actual prototype. So that is what currently the institute should invest upon, where the students get it validated in the virtual world before they put their hands on the prototype, so that once the prototype is built, there is no room for doing any of the reworks. Because as you know, the time to market is getting shrunken day by day. And it is the responsibility of the faculty members and the students to create the avenues for the students so that they can increase their efficiency. And that is what you could see in the video. Whatever the products, the solutions, they are all designed and manufactured by the students. And that is the power of the Connect Next program. And I'm very happy that sooner the shorter you will be also able to be part of this particular journey. So moving further, as I mentioned, the Connect Next program is of an industry mentorship, what we were talking about for the first version of that. So when we discussed about this program with the industry people and gave them this is what the Connect Next program is being able to achieve till date, and these are the avenues we have been able to cater upon. So the next proposal or the next feedback what the industry provided is, now the Connect Next program should evolve to a stage where the students are provided an opportunity just not to inculcate the multidisciplinary skills, but apply them specific to a certain industries. And that is where the launch of the Industry Readiness Program came into picture, where in the next 5 years, Dassault Systèmes La Foundation is going to curate the avenues for the industries like aerospace and defense, industrial equipments, transportation and mobility, architecture, engineering, and construction. The question might be in your mind, why only these 4 industries? For a country like India, the way we have been growing day by day, and the transformation the country is demonstrating to the world globally, these are the 4 industries where not the government, just not the industries, but the whole world is going to invest aggressively for these industry verticals. And that is the reason the launch of the Industry Readiness Program came into picture. And the first industry vertical, aerospace and defense, is what we have started with. And shortly we will be also opening up the tracks for the other industries. And now coming to the today's program, that is the workshop under Ready to Launch Model Rocket and CANSAT, is part of the Industry Readiness Program under the aerospace and defense sector. And now I would like to invite my friend and colleague, Sri Krishna Chittur, to give the details about the Industry Readiness Program for aerospace and defense. So Krishna, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Very, very excited and happy to see some familiar faces and some new faces. And a big round of applause for this incredible panel that we have here. And the reason is very simple. We have the entire spectrum of innovation on the stage and also off the stage today. You have ex-ISRO folks, which is the government-led innovation. You have two startup founders, one of whom is also ex-ISRO. You have a MSME owner, and you have academic stalwarts. So this is as good as it gets. And what really excites me is we started at least thinking about this program exactly 1 year ago, or slightly more than 1 year ago. I have told my coffee story to some of you, so if you have heard this, you can close your ears for next like 2-3 minutes. So June 9th, it was a Sunday last year, around 7:30 p.m. I think it was raining. I was having a cup of filter coffee. If you love filter coffee, I can talk about it for hours. And one of the pages that I was scrolling through, it popped up that ISRO and in partnership with InSpace launched model rocketry competition, right? What does that mean? So for those who are not part of model rocketry exercise, it means ability to design, build and launch a tiny rocket up to 1 kilometer altitude, right? To put something called as a satellite up there and return both of them, right? This is a very cool project. To give you some history, it started in 1998. One of the professors from Stanford University, Robert Twiggs, his thought process was simple. We are sending all these aerospace students to university, and when they start their jobs at NASA or whatever, they have no idea about the basics of building a satellite, right? Two different things. Learning about the satellite is different from building a satellite, right? So he came up with the idea that if I can ask my students to build a tiny satellite that is of the same size as the size of a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola soda bottle or a soda can, then that's a good hands-on experience. That's why the concept of CANSAT originated. It is a satellite that can literally sit inside a can. Okay? So he came up with this idea in 1998 and assembled, I think, a total of 50 students and said, why don't we build a tiny satellite, launch it up to 1 kilometer or whatever, and when there are different definitions of satellites. You've got the ISRO guys who will correct me saying that CANSAT is not a true satellite, but that's okay. They just wanted to send something up in the air, not in space, up in the air, that can measure 3 to 4 fundamental things: temperature, altitude, pressure, and acceleration. And it has to be tiny, and it can be launched within a smaller rocket. Why? The reason has got nothing to do with design. It's because at that time, that department did not have enough funding. So being able to launch a tiny satellite that is of the size of a soda can up to 1 kilometer using a rocket that you also design and build from scratch. That's the beginning of CANSAT. Then it evolved into CANSAT and model rocketry competition in the US, and it spread across Europe, South America, Latin America. In India, I still consider India to be both ancient and young country. Ancient because of our cultural heritage, also our scientific heritage, but young because we kind of got a setback and got our independence, but you're seeing the technological transformation now. So in 2019, when Prime Minister Modi ji set up InSpace organization, which was meant to take our space journey to the next level, it opened up a lot of doors. And that's the reason why we are here, right? InSpace was set up to do 3 to 4 things. Globally, India has a very strong reputation when it comes to space technology, thanks to ISRO, right? But can anybody guess, not the ones who are part of CANSAT competition, can anybody guess what is the percentage of market share India has in the global commercial space industry? Anybody? Best answer gets a free license from Dassault System. The answer is mind-blowing. India only has 2% market share, despite having insane amount of technology. We have some of the best propulsion technologies, best satellite technologies, but we have a very small market share. Why? Because we focused on technology development until now. It's as simple as that, right? So from 2019 onwards, focus is how do we grow from a 2% player to a 10%, 30%, 40% player, right? This cannot happen just with government doing research, but this can happen with doors opened up for 3 to 4 kinds of entities. First, scaling up the technology that is already built by ISRO. For example, how many of you know about Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, PSLVs? Yeah? ISRO literally developed that vehicle, but now the technology transfer has been done with commercial players like L&T who manufacture it, right? So you can scale, produce more of those, because that puts satellites into orbit from, these are payloads from different countries that generates economy. Second, incubation of startups. Before 2019, we didn't have more than 5 space startups in India. Now we have more than 150 space startups just in 5 to 6 years. Right? This was the second focus of InSpace. Third is where all of you come in, which is opening up the doors for academia to participate in building the space economy, right? So going back to my June 9th Sunday evening story, sipping a cup of coffee, I saw that, hey, ISRO has opened up the model rocketry competition. That was awesome because I did my undergraduate in BMS in Bangalore and I did my master's in US. And one of my first hands-on experience was actually building a CANSAT and a model rocket. I was more on the rocket design. And participating in that competition was amazing. It was an excellent experience. So it brought back a lot of memories. So I just picked up my phone and called Praveen and another colleague of mine, Hemant. Said, hey, I just saw the news. Can we do something about it? Why don't we, through La Foundatia, identify a few universities and maybe work with them to, kind of teach them how we do things in industry and also let them innovate, how rockets and satellites are built. So that's where, the why, what, who comes into picture. And Praveen didn't even blink. It was a 10-second phone call. He said, yes, let's discuss it tomorrow. Done. Right? So fast forward, 1 year from now, we are at a stage where 6 of our teams, all 6 have been qualified among 200 plus universities in InSpace competition. So BMS, Dayananda, Sagar, Nitte, Meenakshi, they all have 2 teams each. One for rocketry and one for satellite, right? Now all 6 teams out of 200 plus universities have qualified, and next month, last week of October, they're going to be launching these satellites and rockets in UP for 3 days straight. It'll be like Diwali of space exploration, right? So this is incredible. This is what really motivates us, and huge round of applause to all these students. And obviously we got support from a lot of faculty, support from the management from all the universities. So that's why we are here. We structured this program in two sort of variants. Digital twin enabled model rocketry, where we not only teach students, these students, by the way, they already know how to build rockets and satellites. We're just educating them on how industry would do things, so they can add that aspect as well, right? So being able to build a satellite and a rocket in a digital environment first, testing it in a virtual environment first, before you go out and build physical prototypes and physical tests. Plus, my second phone call that day went to Sunny, who is a good friend of mine, also a very passionate educator and a space entrepreneur, and said, Sunny, you've been teaching so many students. By the way, he has educated thousands of students about space exploration. Very hands-on, theoretical, nerdy kind of a guy that people love. So I called him, he's like, Sunny, we need somebody like you who can bring a lot of passion, a lot of knowledge to our program. And even that was a short phone call. He's like, yes, sir, what do we do next? Right? So today we are here for the third workshop. Actually, it's the fourth workshop. So we started with our first workshop with fundamentals of rocketry and satellite design in December last year. Then we did digital twin workshop earlier in Q1 this year, around March time frame. Third workshop, we did it in Nitte Meenakshi, and this is our fourth one. And the next one, I'm very proud to announce, will be after the launch, to review how successful our launches are. So again, big round of applause to the faculty, the students who have been part of this program. So just to quickly summarize, in these workshops, we are working with 4 colleges. The 3 colleges have already 6 teams in place, plus we have KLS Gongte, who want to learn from this experience and build their own rocketry club. So we are pretty excited. We have 50 plus students, 8 plus faculty who have been very passionately driving this program. And you can see some of the pictures. We have made sure that all the IP is taken away, so the student teams don't have to copy each other's strategy. But you can see them holding the rockets and satellites. It's pretty cool, very, very inspiring. So, okay, so last but not the least, let's take a look at what has been done till now, and then we'll wrap up.
Welcome to the Connect Next Industry Readiness Program, an initiative by Law Foundation Dassault Systems. Over the next 4 days, we are guiding the bright young minds through the journey of modeling and simulating their very own 3D rocket models and CAM sets, leveraging the power of virtual universes. It all starts with an idea. On the day 1, students explored the fundamentals of modeling rockets and CAM set designs, bringing imagination to life through a digital twin environment.
The way we have structured the program is La Foundation Dassault Systems is working with selected set of universities which has extreme interest in space exploration. We've got rocketry clubs, satellite clubs. So we are working with those students and their professors over a period of time in enabling them how to build the rockets and satellites in the right way, in a modern way, by leveraging virtual universes, by leveraging industry expertise, and by making use of cutting edge technology. And together we are helping them bridge the gap between academia and industry, and also while having a lot of fun, because we have volunteers from Dassault Systems who are participating in this program and educating the students the unified modeling and simulation approach, and on the best practices of developing model rockets and CAM-sized satellites, which are CAM-sized.
Hi, my name is Sia and I am from DMS College of Engineering. I've always wanted to build something real, and this is my first time designing a rocket.
The Connect Next program by La Foundation gave us an opportunity and exposure to learn more about rockets and satellites and build a career in space industry.
On the day 3, student taking things to the next level, literally.
I hope to learn the aerodynamic and structural simulations of a CANSAT and a rocket in the next few days. I find this very fascinating and I hope to use this in my future career as well.
Through this program, students learn how to place an antenna at appropriate location, signal integrity, and of course, the device compliance testing, which is very popular these days in the industry. This opened the gateways for the students into not just semiconductor industry but electronics as well as for the space industry.
I joined the Connect Next program to get hands-on experience on aerospace domain and so that I can contribute to the real-world technologies in space.
The major benefit is designing the complex products which are manufacturable and which is the key requirement for the space industry.
Now, it's very exciting for us to be able to recreate our ideas as a form of digital model, and what's even more exciting is that we get to instantly simulate the forces that are acting and be able to get our results validated very quickly.
Well, I'm very excited for the further days in the workshop. We'll be going on with simulations and we'll finally be making a digital twin. And I always wanted to have this experience of making a digital twin since it's the present trend and how it makes problem solving very effective.
This workshop was a great opportunity at the right time for students to build their key skill sets for their future career. We covered basics of a finite element analysis and did hands-on simulations like thrust plate strength and CANSAT drop test.
What kind of long-term impact you envision with this initiative?
So the Connect Next program and initiative by La Foundation and Dassault System is to provide structured avenues for the engineering students and the educators to inculcate the multidisciplinary competencies which are required by the industries.
We didn't just run the simulations, but we explained the theory behind them. They learned how to create a mesh, how to model contacts, how to check mesh quality, how to understand the results, and on top of that, learning from insights of simulation results, how to make a design decisions.
We are future ready. Thank you, La Foundation.
Okay, I think with that we'll wrap up my words because we're waiting for the dignitaries to come on stage and share a few words. But thank you all. Really looking forward to this workshop, and we thank DSU for hosting this workshop. Have a good rest of the workshop, guys. Yeah.
We thank you, sir, for your inspiring introduction to La Foundation Dassault Systems and for your support.
Today's chief guest is Mr. H.N. Suresh Kumar, former Deputy Director, Mechanical Systems Area, URSC, ISRO. May I request Dr. Prashanta Kumar HG to kindly introduce our chief guest and invite him to deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you, Tanushree. Mr. H.N. Suresh Kumar sir, Chief Guest. Mr. Suresh Kumar sir is a retired Deputy Director of Mechanical System Area at URL Satellite Center, URSA, ISRO, Bangalore, and a distinguished alumnus of National Institute of Engineering, NIE, Mysore, where he has graduated in Mechanical Engineering in 1985. Over his illustrious career, so he has played a key role in realization of critical mechanisms for the several prestigious missions, including Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2, GSAT-17, GSAT-18, and also his contribution to India space programs are reflected in 9 patents in the space mechanisms, and also more than 65 research publications in the reputed journals. Behind space research, Mr. Suresh Kumar sir is deeply passionate about science education, having conducted workshop for engineering students on the satellite tracking with a home-built antenna and AM radios. So with a short of time, so I request H.N. Suresh Kumar sir to join for facilitation. So I request our beloved Dean Dr. Uday Kumar Reddy sir to facilitate the chief guest. Please, sir. So thank you H.N. Suresh Kumar sir for his accepting the invitation and gracing the occasion. And also I request today's guest of honor, Mr. Devadatta Mishra, Director and CEO, Apex Aerospace, to join for the occasion. And I request Professor Dr. Uday Kumar Reddy sir for giving the memento for gracing the occasion. So and also with us today, guest of honor, Mr. Sunny Kabrawala, founder and space technology and aeronautical rocket Suresh. So I request Sunny Kabrawala to join the dais to receive a small memento. So also with us today, today's guest of honor, Mr. Sri Krishna Chetur, Industry Process Director and Resolve System. I request Dr. Uday Kumar Reddy sir to present a small memento. Yes, so thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and presenting a memento for the chief guest. So, with a short of time, we are proceeding for the end of the inaugural session. So I request Mr. H.N. Suresh Kumar sir, so today's chief guest, to proceed or addressing the gathering.
I'll just make it very short. Yes. I'll just play this.
Dignitaries of the stage and my dear budding engineers, very pleasant good afternoon to you and greetings from my side on the occasion of Engineers Day. Well, I will not make it longer. It is already 12:15. I will just try to wind up in maybe another 10-15 minutes. One thing is, Dassault, hats off to you. You have been doing an amazing job. I have been in space industry from almost 35 years, so always felt that there is a distinct gap between academia and industry. And you people are doing an amazing job in trying to bridge that gap. And the way in which you people have guided, I saw in your presentation, you have done finite element analysis, you have seen for guiding the students to design properly and then do it fabrication, assemble the system and ready for launch. Amazing job. Kudos to you. And also, fortunate are those children who have been guided here. Kindly, you have been initiated very well. So I very strongly suggest and recommend that don't kill the passion in you. Take it forward. This is only a first step. There are many, many more steps to be climbed, and then kindly take it forward. That's my sincere suggestion to you. And then I was just thinking what to speak, because the occasion wise it is something like private participation in space sector in India is on the rise. So I'll just share my thoughts on these things for next few minutes. So satellite applications, I'll just try to give you a big picture. 4 big verticals we can identify in satellite applications primarily. One is the communication satellites, remote sensing satellites, navigation for GPS type of things, and then science missions. So when Shubman Gill hits a 6 in the test match in England, immediately that information you receive on your TV screens sitting in the house. So such type of instantaneous transfer of information across the globe, again, you thank the satellites. And for Earth observation, say like communication satellites have plenty of applications, say for example, the share market, then many communication related activities, direct to home, all those things are through satellites. And another vast field that you have is Earth observation. Then space science is the one which is fascinating. What is there on the moon? What is there on Mars? How Venus is bad? How Venus is good? All those things are a distant star. If I want to see what you can do, go out of Earth's atmosphere and then look at the stars. Then navigation satellites. So one primary example of remote sensing satellites, if I want to take, today from observations from space, we are in a position to see what is there on Earth very clearly. Even to the extent that a number plate of a vehicle you will be able to see from space. The type of resolutions what we are talking of today is 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. That means an object of 25 by 25 centimeters you will be able to see as a dot. So plenty of applications it has, right from agriculture, coastal lines. Say for example, there is a cyclone getting developed in Bay of Bengal. At least 5 days in advance you will know where the cyclone is getting formed, what speed, what velocity, which direction it is heading, and when is it likely to hit coastal Andhra Pradesh. We will be able to very pinpointly, we will be able to tell 5 days in advance. And today, fishermen going into the sea, they will be able to see which direction if you go. There is 2 simple gadgets
which are fit into the boats of these fishermen, and there will be a radio program which is broadcast every day morning, which tells that you go in this particular direction. That is all along the coastal line. India has almost 1,500 kilometers of coastal line. So all along the coastal line, in the local radio, in the local language of these places, you get a communication. You go in this particular direction, you have the maximum possibility of catching the fish. They are done by monitoring the chlorophyll content in the ocean, converting that into useful information. You do not require anything extra for that. Fisherman just to have a mobile phone in his hand, and then through satellite, once he goes deep into the sea, there is no communication tower or anything like that. But with another gadget fitted into the boat, it is very easily possible. In the process, you are saving enormous amount of time, efforts, petrol, everything for the fishermen, and it is contributing significantly to the economy of India. Like that, I can keep telling many applications of these remote sensing. But however, let me limit it to these two simple examples. One thing is, what you have been guided today is in the most appropriate direction. You should be taking it forward in the next steps. Today you have been launching one rocket. Today you have been putting up a CANSAT. CANSAT is a simple satellite per se. There is nothing wrong in calling it as a satellite. You need not feel offended to call it a satellite, so long it has a structure which can take up the aerodynamic loads, which has its own power systems, it has its own telemetry, telecommand systems. So long it has all characteristics of that, definitely it is a satellite, nothing wrong in that. So you are going to have it down with a proper approach, parachute, possibly that could be one of the things, and there is a deployment mechanism for the parachute. So most of the characteristics of a typical satellite you are now seeing. Maybe you should take it forward in the days to come. So these are the different applications of the satellite, remote sensing satellites particularly. Today, the highways have to be aligned such that the path is least distance path, wasteland management, forestry, then glaciers, all those things, and in different spectral bands like visible spectral band, hyperspectral, all those things it is possible to do using satellite technology. So your exposure to the CANSAT and rocketry should take you further into any of these things. And the bottom line here is it possible for an individual like a student like you to receive the satellite data directly and process the same to obtain weather images? Yes, this is a wonderful hobby. I would like you to get exposed to this. You can make a simple handheld Yagi antenna, and there are some public domain satellites, like there are some NOAA satellites from US, there is one Fengyun 2H satellite from China, there is GeoCompsat from South Korea, there are some Meteor satellites from Russia. Unfortunately, none of the Indian satellites provide this facility, but there are some Russian satellites. So using some simple handmade antenna and a public utility software like SatDump and a simple gadget called software defined radio, you can receive directly the images from the satellite, but however, coarse resolution images, approximately 4 kilometers by 4 kilometer coarse resolution images you can receive, and that is a wonderful hobby. Maybe you should be able to take it forward. Then coming directly to whatever we have in mind, say I will just go through this as quickly as possible. Today, InSpace and NSIL are the two major things which are trying to open up the satellite technology and launch vehicle technology to general public and Indian industries. So if we just take the history of development of satellites and all, in the early 80s, it was experimental phase for the satellite development. 90s and 2000s, it became operational. And in the 2010 onwards and up to the present day, commercialization of the space sector is going on. And that getting converted into business and profit, that has been the next major step that Government of India has initiated through InSpace and all. So now what ISRO would be doing, what private sector would be doing, ISRO has the responsibility, major responsibility of taking this research forward. Most of the space missions, space science missions, for example, Chandrayaan, Mars Orbiter mission, Venus mission, Bharatiya Antariksha Station, all those things will be the bread and butter for ISRO. And most of the day-to-day applications like communication, weather forecasting, then all remote sensing type of satellites, they will have to be built by private industry. And there has been a tremendous demand for all these things. Say this is the type of space value chain. You can say satellite manufacturing, launch services. Those are the two things. Once the satellite is put into orbit by a launch vehicle, you have space-based services, value-added services. For example, GPS, if you take, what satellite gives you is the total coordinate of any particular point in the map. Say, for example, if you type on your GPS, restaurants near me, it just gives you what are the restaurants that are around you. So such type of information satellite doesn't give you. These are the value-added services onto the GPS image that the satellite has given, that those people like you, these are all third-party additions into the information that the satellite has given you. So there is an enormous scope of adding value to whatever satellite has given. Those are coming under value-added services and mainly consumers. And to tell you the major things that have happened today, that is the private parties taking up the development of launch vehicles and satellites, that is only coming to be around 5 to 10% of total market share which is there, and balance nearly 90%. This is a slide which is made some 2 years back. Maybe there can be a small change in these numbers, maybe 80-20 type of things. However, on the applications part of the space technology, whatever you have received from space, there is still around 80% of market share. Big amount of share is there, which can be taken up by small startups also. So such type of things maybe definitely you can be looking for. So InSpace was formed. That was during almost COVID times. I remember having been associated with all these news at that point of time. We were within ISRO and then trying to understand what is really happening, how Government of India is really opening up these things to private in space. It was created as a single window interface for industry for both promotion and authorization. Because these are high-tech things, there should be a regulation also possible, regulation also to be done. So InSpace was a single window agency for promoting this technology as well as for regulating the technology. So these are the different activities through which InSpace really provides all this information. So few of the major things that have happened in the past. Say this was announced by our InSpace on August 23rd on National Space Day. 3 major happenings: Pixel-led consortium like Dhruva Space, PRSite and SatSure. They have got the contract for design, build, own and operate National Earth Observation Satellites, a constellation of 12 satellites at an estimated cost of 1,200 crores within 4-5 years. Constellation of these 12 satellites should be there, which are mapping India and providing valuable value-added services to Indian community. In fact, there is one, maybe some of you must have already known about these things, so maybe let it get reinforced. When the bid for this was given, some of these industries, for example, this Pixel-led consortium which won this, had a bid for zero rupees. What does it mean? There was a viability funding provided by government. For example, 350 crores government would provide you for taking up this work, and cap on that was around 350 crores. That means government was willing to offer you 350 crores for that, but when this company bid for that, it said, we have enough resources, we only want permission, we only want the contract to be awarded, and we are ready to take up this work. So almost 1,200 crores of investment, this is being done, a big picture you should be getting. Next is for satellite communication, Anant Technologies, a big communication satellite of almost 4,000 kg class for space-based internet services. This is being built by Anant Technologies. This will also be coming up in another I would say another 3 to 4 years, 4000 kg class communication satellite. And then SSLV, small satellite launch vehicle, technology transfer and new launch complex. This is HAL-led consortium, again 511 crores. Don't worry about get carried away by big money that is involved here. But nevertheless, what it can give you as a hope is there's a large employment potential that is coming up because of these things, both in terms of they employing people as well as opening up of private sector for many of the startups. So this is what InSpace can provide you. Much of this must be known. For example, satellite bus as a service, technology adoption fund, technology transfer, all these things. And InSpace also provides many of these facilities and technology transfer agreements. Those things have been done. Almost 93 technologies which are part of ISRO's developmental activity, those have been transferred to industries. You can take up any of these technology transfer things and start building up your own products in these things. And some simple examples. In fact, I was told that around 150 industries, it is not necessarily, it is almost 300 plus startup industries. All these things have come up in the past maybe 2 to 3 years time frame. So there is enormous scope that is existing. So academia, industry and student, say you are set of students, on one side you have academia, on the other side you have industry. So what are the options that are available for you? I just want to spend a couple of minutes and wind up my lecture. Say something like Swayam and Swayam Plus. Say many of the students may be coming from tier 2, tier 3 colleges, wherein good academics may or may not be possible. I mean, I just give it as a qualitative statement only, not to undermine any institute. But if you still have a burning desire that you want to learn some of the technologies in a big way, IIT Madras has come up with Swayam and Swayam Plus courses, and wherein you can take up the course, 25 to 45 hours of teaching, entry is free. At the end of that, if you want to pass an exam, you will have to pay a nominal fee, and these are all online courses. So many things, Internet of Things, Internet in Python. So many such modern day, current day courses are offered by these. Kindly look through them, take those exams. Any of those things, if you want to have, kindly take that. Then BS degree, even 4 years BS degree also. Professors of practice, industry experts, they visit the educational institutions and take up the guidance process, and experiential learning. All these things are possible provided you have passion and perseverance. These are the two things. You should be passionate about what you want to do. Like you wanted to be a good mechanical engineer, yes, be passionate about that, dream of that. As Kalam was telling, our Kalam sir, dreams are the ones which will not come in the sleep. Only dreams are the ones which will not allow you to sleep. So if you are really dreaming about what you are passionate about, definitely you will be able to achieve these things. So from the industry side, industry based hackathons can participate. And this is IROQ is one more thing like a CANSAT, whatever that has been told. ISRO Robotics Challenge URSC, IROQ, maybe some of you from Nitya Meenakshi must have participated in that also. 2024, I was part of the committee member there in IROQ, wherein engineering students were asked to build rovers. Rovers, assuming that you are moving on a rough terrain on lunar surface, you have to negotiate a crater, you have to negotiate a boulder, you should go to a vantage point, and all these things to be done in an autonomous way. You only have to scan whatever is in front of you and go to that particular point. So that was IROQ. Like CANSAT, this is a wonderful competition. Maybe people here may take part in these things in the future. And in fact, prizes for that were distributed by none other than President of India. So the type of value that is attached is simply great. And in IROQ 2025, which got culminated on August 23rd this year. Every year, this is to commemorate landing of Chandrayaan-3 lander on lunar surface. That happened on August 23rd. So the final award distribution happens on August 23rd. Be assured of that. The call for the competition and terms and conditions will come somewhere in November. So maybe November, December of this year, 2025, be watchful. On ISRO's webpage, URSC webpage, you will be seeing the advertisement. And then, like last year, first time it was rover making, next time it was drone making. Drone making also, the task was, drone has to be made as though you are flying the drone on Mars. That means what? You don't have any GPS there, you don't have any other local coordinates that are there. The drone has to be equipped with its own the drive mechanism, it should have its own sensors, it should have its own data processing systems within itself, and ultimately go to some vantage points on a simulated Martian surface. Only thing is gravity is the only thing which is different, which you need not worry about. So a new thing is likely to come up. There is nothing like building a product. It is something like, say you have your mobile phone. Mobile phone has so many technologies inside in it. For example, it has a power system, it has a telemetry, it has a telecommand, it has a thermal management system. So like that, if you are building one drone, if you are building one rover, which is totally self-sufficient, which has its own sensor systems, which has its own drive systems, which has its own power system, all those things, the feeling is great, the happiness is great. I suggest you take part in such competitions. Rocketry and CANSATs, anyway, you people are doing. Internships and mini projects. Respond program of ISRO is another place where ISRO has its own multiple programs that are going on, and what it wants as a futuristic program, all those things from each center and each department in each center, they will all be listed in this respond basket. So you just go for respond in ISRO. If you just type on Google, you will be able to see what is it that ISRO is offering. Just keep going through. Many of these things keep getting updated in dynamic situations. There will be hundreds of projects which ISRO wants you people to take up. So any educational institution or any student wants to take up that, you can approach the Respond program. Typically, a financial support of around 15 to 20 lakhs ISRO does provide, and some of these things can be taken forward, and apprentice trainings and internships, anyway, these things you are aware of. So the field is wide open, the scope is also wide open, and it is always seen that space industry is gearing up to a big explosion in the years to come. So it has been a wonderful feeling for me to speak to this young community here. My heart really fills with happiness that Indian space industry is poised for something really big, and Dassault is doing an amazing job in connecting the industry with academia. So hats off to you people, and you people are blessed, I would say. So take it forward. All the very best of luck. Thank you very much.
Today's keynote section by H.N. Suresh Kumar sir. So sir has delivered the insights about ISRO and also InSpace, and also the open possibilities for as a startup, also as a student, how they can take their careers and also have a startup with respect to the particularly the space sector. So with this, I would like to thank for H.N. Suresh Kumar sir for giving all these inputs. So next I would like to proceed for the panel discussion. The panel discussion is on the India's cosmic frontier, the grit behind the glamour of entrepreneurship and space sector. So for this I would like to invite Mr. H.N. Suresh Kumar, former Deputy Director, Mechanical System Area, URAV Satellite Center, And I would like to invite Mr. Girish S. Murthy, Director 3D Print Course, Bengaluru. And also I would like to invite Mr. Devadatta Mishra, CFO and CTO, Apex Bangalore Exploration, Bangalore. And also I would like to invite Mr. Sunny Gabarwala, so founder and Space Technology and Aeronautical Rocketry, Surat, for the panel discussion as a panelist. Please, sir. Mike. That's it. So I request all the students be kindly seated. So, hello, excuse me. I thought you were all joining as a panelist. I surprised only 4 chairs are there. How I can accommodate? Hello. I know the important. Yes, please. So, it's not working?
And then we'll use this. So we will pass this to panelists.
So I request panelists to keep the discussion as short as possible so that it will reach to all of us. Otherwise, already our students are dreaming about lunch. Yes.
This is for the panelists. They will pass around. Okay.
Yes, it's open now.
Okay, first of all, I know it's close to lunchtime, so we will try to wrap up early. And also, this will be an interesting session because you will get to hear experiences and inputs from pretty much people from very different backgrounds. So we'll start out with Mishra sir. Maybe you can pass the mic to him. So Mishra sir has a very interesting background. He used to work for ISRO and on very different kinds of projects. And then he decided to become an entrepreneur. So Mishra ji, why did you leave ISRO and decide to start something on your own?
Yeah, Krishna, thank you very much for this surprising fact why I left my high-flying career in ISRO. But let me briefly tell you, ISRO was not the first organization where I started my career. Before ISRO also I briefly worked with DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization. And after ISRO also my service was not over. Again I served in another government agency called Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship as the officiating CEO of Aerospace and Aviation Sector Skill Council. So during my journey in this time I found, of course, what I was doing within ISRO was the best I could able to do because of the seniors like the one which today I am fortunate to have with me, Suresh sir. But having achieved what best I can achieve within ISRO, there was some appetite within me. Worked in 3 different departments of Government of India, Defense, Space and Skill Department. Maybe like I thought I can also try my hand outside. Then I started, I hanged my boot in ISRO, came out with some good ideas. And I proudly I can say more than half dozen startup I handhold, guided them, mentored them. Cumulatively, I can say around 100 million of business worth support I extended them. I myself also worked with 3 startups in decision-making roles, as well as one public listed aerospace and defense company as a senior executive position. So I can count 21 years. Currently, I'm in industry, 3 different ministries, 6 startups, as well as I think 3 to 4 companies I worked. So all are God blessings only, because as a human, I think there will be limitations, but all these things I could achieve because of best wishes of all you people. A lot of opportunities are there. The frontier is open. Like infinite space, the opportunities are also infinity. So I think post lunch, when your stomach will be full, we'll have one more discussion, and I will take you beyond 120 kilometers away from Earth, where you will get the feel of real space. Because I worked in almost all the areas where ISRO is working. I worked in launch vehicles, I worked in satellites, I worked in human space flight program area, I worked in government, I worked in private. So I know how we can fill the bridge. Probably I can help some of you also to see bigger dreams. Thank you, Krishna.
Sir, one big learning for me when talking to you is most people, when they start working in corporate, they get very comfortable with a good paying job and a steady lifestyle. Being able to switch from a government job and go through another government job and go through 6 startups, that is incredible, sir. Huge, huge kudos to you. Okay, we'll probably switch gears to our friend from manufacturing here. Girish, he used to work in Europe, has a background in aerospace, I think used to work in Airbus. And then, why did you choose to come to the bright side? And what kind of realistic, I mean harsh realities that you had to go through before setting up your startup? Because there's a very fancy view among students that, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, it's cool. It's not cool, guys. It's actually insane. You gotta be either insane or stupid to become an entrepreneur, as long as you love it. So I will let Girish talk about it.
Thank you. So firstly, it's great to address a bunch of, I would say, Zuckerbergs. I don't know, maybe one Karman sitting there. One of them will surely be. So
hopefully they don't drop off college because you mentioned Zuckerberg.
So that's the role of Law Foundation, I believe. Right. So firstly, Happy Engineers Day again. So we've been on the shoulders of stalwarts like Mr. Mokshagundam Vishweshraya, who has been taking care of. And we had a presentation as Devdutt sold at the back. Let's see if we get time, we'll run through it, or we can call it a day, right? So for your question, Krishna, like what made you come to the bright side? So I would say there are less summers in Europe. And India is more brighter. It's mostly snow, right? So that's one of the point. But the other thing is, like when we were grads from college, me and you mostly, both the, I don't know, Gen X or Gen W, I don't know what Gen to call us.
Millennials.
We were the millennials, exactly, right? So what we wanted was, kelsa sikidare sak, mugit jivna. Like, that's what we started our life. That's how we were, right? So there was this American dream, European dream, all these kind of things. And as you know that when we were both almost contemporaries in the career, the huge programs going on. You got the A350s, you got the A320s. And I would like to have a quick applause that Dassault is behind all of this. Kindly an applause for Dassault for this. Because I might have worked, I don't know, maybe about 20 aircraft programs. There is no aircraft without Dassault. It doesn't fly, right? So you guys, when you see an aircraft, it's just an aircraft. So people like me and Krishna and other contemporaries on the stage, we know that every nut and bolt is important with it. Otherwise, Govinda, Krishna, I don't know, you may call whatever you want, right? It's like that.
That's why we don't take credit for 787 Dreamliner.
Never. Never don't do that. You know, on that note, I never used to sign any Boeing drawings. I am fortunate. I am really fortunate. I used to sign only Airbus dossiers. My name is not on Boeing. It was the time when it says Boeing. If it's not Boeing, I'm not going. Now it's reverse. If it's Boeing, I'm definitely not going. It's like, but I mean, on the flip side, aerospace and space, it's extremely difficult. It's not just fancy presentations. It's not just fancy simulations. You know, our Suresh sir would have got nightmares. I am 100% sure that sir would have hundreds and hundreds of sleepless nights. Is my trajectory correct? Is my orbital mechanics correct? Is it going to land on moon or is it going to go on my top of my house? Maybe not, right? It's extremely difficult, I'm telling you. So I've just been maybe 1% of aerospace, just being a stress engineer for a decade. And it's hell, I'm telling you, right? But what I want from this young generation is perceive, sustain, feel the pain. Not just somebody I want to say, okay, I want to become Dolly Chaiwala. How many of you want to become? I want to become. That guy is filthy rich. He doesn't know Ketia, he doesn't know CFD, he just makes chai. And Bill Gates is standing next to him. Bill Gates doesn't come to me, right? Understand, right? What does he mean by this? Make something that you can sell. My friend next to me, I was having a chat with Mr. Sunny, so that's what I came to know. Make something that you sell. So if I want to ask you a question, how many of you want to do a startup here? I want some hands up. I'm hungry too, but still. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Nice.
I think people are scared of you, Girish.
That's fine.
That's why they're not raising their hand.
But the thing is, I didn't complete the question. They lifted a hand. How many of you want a startup for next 5 years? Actually, that was the question.
Very good question.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Great. So when I got into 3D printing long back, it was basically the European, I can say, the ecosystem which inspired me. And during that time, there was a real problem in the Indian market where you didn't have an MVP. So I am sure most of them is being under the circles of entrepreneurship, product development. Can anybody tell me what's an MVP stands for? Sorry? Most valuable player, Virat Kohli. I'm sorry. So what's MVP? Sorry? Proposition. Almost there. We call it a minimum viable product. That's called an MVP, right? So I heard people building things. Okay. So I'm going to ask them that, boss, do you have the bill of materials? Oh, I missed that. Right? So maybe once you visit your kitchen where our moms cook, they are the best entrepreneurs, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. She knows exactly how much atta to buy for this month, how much exact things, and they are spot on, right? So that's how we need to learn around us, right? Observe things around you. And so now I am into this extrusion business. Almost it's been a decade. It's a great experience talking to youngsters, academics, and 3D printing, I'm telling you, it's a fantastic space. We print from, Superman to companies like Tata's to L&T's and ISRO, right? And that's how my journey is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Phil. Maybe we'll switch gears to Suresh sir. So you started with ISRO, retired with ISRO.
Yes, right.
And obviously you would have seen how the country has transformed in terms of opportunities, right? Before pretty much it was all government organizations and now you see the space sector opening up. What would be your advice to students in terms of how to choose a right domain in space? You brought up a very good point, which is, the launch services only contribute to 5 to 10%. The real market size value creation is in the other 90%. And even though rockets and satellites are very glamorous and cool, what are the other avenues where there is still a lot to be done,
where ISRO can provide mentorship, but entrepreneurs can really create value for the country.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna. You brought out a very, very important point because space sector is really amazing. When you see that lander has landed beautifully, and after that rover ramp opens out, rover rolls down, and it gets wonderful pictures of moon and all those things. But mind you, behind that, there is almost 1 decade of hard work that has gone behind. And space sector is the one which doesn't forgive any of your shortcomings. You take the example of Chandrayaan 2. Chandrayaan 2 had a lander, it had an orbiter, it had a rover. Distance between here to moon is almost 386,000 kilometers. Chandrayaan 2 traveled all that distance beautifully. It had almost 100 different obstacles en route. Everything was beautifully maneuvered. And finally, on the day of Chandrayaan 2 landing, from almost 30 kilometers from moon surface, we came down beautifully. And when we were almost 800 meters, close to around 800 meters, few hundred meters from moon surface, something went bad and lander had a crash landing on moon. So what it teaches you, from a distance of almost 386,000 kilometers, last 800 meters only you are not able to traverse. And even today, Chandrayaan 2 lander is termed as a failure. Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is still working fine, great, but whenever what first thought comes to your mind is always that of a failure. So anything less than 100% is a failure in space science. That is one thing you should be keeping in mind. So you have to be successful, but definitely there is a scope for improvement. Anything for that matter in this world is non-linear. At the first instance, you will not get that correctly. Be assured of that. Almost whatever we do, everything, every day in life, it is non-linear. So first thing is, don't get disheartened if you do not get anything at the right for the first time. Even I am very sure the entrepreneurs here, they will have burnt their fingers. And at the same time, when you do some things with passion, with a determination to do successfully, definitely you will be successful. That's what happened in Chandrayaan 3. So you have to rise from the ashes. Anyway, the knowledge, the experience, expertise, everything is there. What you needed to do was tying the knots appropriately, covering what were the difficulties, deficiencies that you had in the past. So you address some of those things. When Chandrayaan 3 lander actually was landing, we had 9 different options. One was the prime option wherein you have to land at that particular place. But in case some sensor is not going correctly, some engine is not firing properly, what can happen? Like that, some 9 different failure modes were identified, which were very likely to happen, and we were prepared mentally. I mean, the programming and coding were such that everything has to be done autonomous. Nothing manual intervention is possible there. So, by God's grace and by having the confidence in our systems and all, the first and prime option only Chandrayaan 3 lander landed. But nevertheless, what goes behind all these things is enormous amount of working, enormous amount of thinking. And if you are thinking about a career in space science, definitely it is fascinating. At the same time, it doesn't allow you for any of the inconsistencies or shortfalls. So beware of that. Be passionate about what you are doing. Definitely it is much, much rewarding. Most of the satellites, almost we have made more than some 400 satellites or so, I mean including the foreign satellites and all. All the solar array deployments, solar arrays are the ones which provide power to the satellite. All the solar array opening up in space were done by my team, and I am very happy to say that all the missions of ISRO solar, I mean for that matter, all mechanisms have worked nominally. 433 mechanisms so far, right from IRS 1A of 1989 I am counting. So all the mechanisms have been successful. For opening up of a solar panel, it hardly takes around 15 to 30 seconds. You give the command, because of the energy contained in the spring, it just opens up. But for 30 seconds of nominal operation of a solar panel, it takes almost 3 to 4 years of work, toiling, and that's how you get the product. So keep your heart into the product that you are doing, and dream of that while you are awake, and then that definitely takes you to that. Be passionate about what you are doing. Definitely that will take you forward. I mean, it's been a lengthy answer. Maybe in the next questions I'll be very short. Possibly you can ask the 3 persons more.
They are not allowed to leave before we complete.
Before we complete,
okay.
right. Okay. Right, thank you so much. Right.
Sir. Okay, we will wrap up with Sunny. How many of you know Sunny already? He's pretty popular among the aerospace fraternity, space fraternity. So Sunny has a very interesting background. You started as an electronics person and then switched to aerospace.
Yeah.
Now you're also into quantum computing and you keep learning something new, teaching students on something new. Other than rockets and satellites, I will come back to you with the same question. What are the new avenues that the students can look forward to in terms of either starting something on their own or contributing to some of the existing players in the market?
First of all, very happy Engineers Day to all engineers present here, and most importantly to all actors, cricketers, motivational speakers, magicians, everyone, because we see engineers everywhere. My journey actually did not start with the science field. It started with the field of arts. I was a choreographer. I used to teach dance, and for 6 years I have done that in my life, and that gave me a good confidence. And after that, I started learning about rockets, about the satellites, mainly CANsats. And this is the 10th year of my company right now. I run a startup called Star. Again, I was too lazy to name my company. I just named it Star. This is the 10th year of the operation, and every year, let me tell you, every day is a new learning. And the avenues that we have explored so far is rocket design, rocket development. We have built high-powered rockets. We have launched them. We have worked on sounding rockets. And also learning a little bit of quantum computing and quantum mechanics, working with few students who are into quantum computing, working with a couple of startups that are working on the applications of quantum computing into aerospace. There's a company called Artificial Brain. We work with them. They won I think they got first prize in one of the European Space Challenge that was organized, where the problem statement was using the quantum computers for aerospace. The latest one that we are working on right now is hypersonic technologies. What we see right now is the lack of fundamental knowledge of hypersonic and supersonics in the educational institutes. There are books available, there are theoretical knowledge which is already there, and all these models, if you see, because whenever I'm searching about any research paper there, on internet, most of the research papers are written by either people from US or China, but I see very less paper being published by Indian authors there. So I'm just learning about hypersonics, exploring that domain. Today actually we have a presentation on our preliminary design of our first hypersonic glide vehicle. And hopefully if everything goes well, we will be moving to the next stage of the development, which would be the critical design, and just dreaming to develop this vehicle for DRDO or an Indian defense someday, seeing them flying. So yeah, that is what we have been working.
Okay, I think we've got all the key answers and it's almost about lunchtime. Before we head out for lunch, I had a surprise announcement that I couldn't hold myself. The students who are part of the CANsat and model rocketry program, Mishra sir, who is the founder of a startup, has 2 to 3 openings for electronic students in space. So this afternoon, after lunch, you have an opportunity to interview with him. And if he likes the 2 to 3 people, then the conversation will go forward. So please make use of it. And this is exclusively for students who are part of Model Rocketry and CANSAT program, is looking for students from electronics background. So that's going to be another nice thing about this workshop. Thank you, Mr. Sir. Okay, thank you all. Please give them a big round of applause.
So it's exactly 1 o'clock. I think I would like to thank Krishna sir and making this panel as one of the the discussion for the students to have a outset for how the startup can be, and also how they can take their journey towards this space and further allied branches. So with this, I would like to thank all the panel members and taking their time and making this happen at Dayananda Sagar University. So with this, I would like to call our Dr. Professor Nagaraj sir to present a memento to our guest of honor, Mr. Girish Murthy, Director 3D Print Cards, Bangalore. And also I request all his team to join on the dais. So, and I request all the delegates to join for a group photo of the dais. Nice. To witness the student participation with their patients. Yeah, and also students can stand ready for lunch. Thank you all of you. Students, but then separate. We can announce it in our internal. So I request a student from the NITTE and also a student from the BMS, please join here for the lunch. Students, yes, students volunteer will accompany you for the bag. You can keep here, not a problem.